summed that up in a perfect
3 minutes.
time frame.
I've had some experience with submissions.
Excellent. Well, you've done perfectly. Now you've got 5 minutes on behalf of the Summit Road Society.
Yeah. So kia ora. So this is on behalf of the Summit Road Society, which is a grassroots conservation organisation working to protect the Port Hills. And of course, the Summit Road Society has a particular interest in the Port Hills and Banks Peninsula, and some of the effects of climate change are being felt right now in terms of the Port Hills and Peninsula, especially around the risk of drought and wildfires. Ohenitahi Reserve, 80 hectares burnt in the Port Hills fires a couple of years ago. And there's also challenges around water and our freshwater supplies, and also restoration efforts, establishing a new bush when we have such dry conditions. So we support the goals, especially around the guardians of our natural environment, Goal 4, and support the proposed programs of work. And we fully endorse the key focus areas: protecting, restoring and increasing our Indigenous biodiversity across the city and peninsula, with a focus on our forests, our waterways, wetlands, coastal ecosystems and our urban trees. So while we actually think the climate change strategy is definitely on the right track, the real issue is going to be the actions on the ground and the associated resourcing to achieve this. And so we cannot afford to make slow incremental change if the climate change targets in the strategy are to be met. So the long-term plan and the annual plan process must work to support the objectives of the climate change strategy, not undermine it. This council has identified a next step of work in each program of work, and that's a good start, but what we need to see is the detailed plan for each program of work. And this must be done with urgency and in partnership with iwi and with the local community. And so we look forward to being part of that process ourselves. Ngā mihi.
Excellent. Questions? No? James?
Kia ora, Marie. You came in the other day with the Summit Road Society. You made a really good comment there, and I just would like you to flesh out. Can you just remind us of what you meant when you said something like, we don't owe them a debt, we want them to owe us a debt? Can you just remind me of what you were talking about?
Was it in the long-term plan submission?
Yeah. Or did you just make that up at the time?
I might have.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, but definitely. I think, I was just talking about with my friend today about the vision of Harry L. When Harry L created the Summit Road and the network of rest houses, he wasn't actually talking about a community connected by cars. Actually, that was the early 1900s. This was a network of rest houses so we could walk the Port Hills. We could walk to Banks Peninsula. And actually, I think some of the lessons of the past would inform us well today. That vision that people had to restore the Port Hills to provide for public access and to create connected pathways for people to move on their own 2 feet is actually the vision for the future.
Which is what came out of that was, you said, we don't owe them a debt, we want them to owe us a debt. Okay, that's what you said.
Wise words.
Sarah.
Thanks so much, Marie, and have fun with the e-bike.
Yes,
they're
I'm
brilliant.
still saving.
Yeah. And what's the capacity like for additional volunteers and planting and those kind of things if council puts in the resource needed to support that in the way of the park rangers and stuff?
Oh, I think that the capacity is amazing. I think you could easily get 50 people at planting events. Some of the bigger programs are planting, a few thousand trees in a day, definitely 1,000. So if you had but you need someone to organise it. Yeah. You need someone to kind of pull it together. So I think there's huge potential to actually build on our Indigenous biodiversity, but also our urban trees, which are really important for many other reasons.
Yeah.
So if you were able to support the urban ranger service by increasing that capacity, I think that there would be activity in nearly all the parks across the city. Yeah. Dunedin has that, and they've had it for like 3 years. Adopt a reserve.
Yes. Yeah. And the oh, I've lost it now. Yep, sorry, I've lost it. That's okay.
All good? Okay, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
presentation today. Thank you.